This story is unlike anything you've ever heard before, a chilling tale of betrayal, obsession, and cold-blooded violence committed by someone far too young to even comprehend the weight of life and duty. A 14-year-old boy stabbed his classmate more than 100 times, left her body hidden in the woods, and then returned home as if nothing had happened. Why did he do it? What drove him to commit such a horrific act? And perhaps even more disturbingly, why did his mother get involved in trying to cover it up? This is the story of Tristyn Bailey, and this is Fear Files, pinned in Jacksonville, Florida. On Mother's Day, May 9, 2021, the Bailey family was just starting their morning. Tristyn's mother headed to her daughter's room around 10 a.m., expecting to wake her for breakfast. But Tristyn wasn't there. Her bed was empty. No one had seen or heard from her since the night before. Alarmed, her parents contacted the police immediately. And what began as a missing persons case soon evolved into something far more sinister. Tristyn Bailey was 13 years old, bright, athletic, and full of life. She was a cheerleader at Patriot Oaks Academy, a girl who loved her friends, Starbucks, and dreaming about the future. But that future was abruptly stolen. The search for her began immediately, with volunteers from the community canvassing neighborhoods and wooded areas. Flyers were posted everywhere. This was a close-knit, quiet, upper-middle-class suburb, one not accustomed to violent crime, let alone something like this. Surveillance footage quickly became a vital part of the investigation. Around 1:15 a.m., a camera caught Tristyn walking with a boy from her school, 14-year-old Aiden Fucci. They were seen together, heading toward a wooded area. 3 hours later, Fucci was caught on camera again, this time walking alone. Tristyn had vanished. When detectives brought Aiden in for questioning, his behavior shocked them. While riding in the back of a police cruiser, he took a selfie and posted it to Snapchat. The caption read, "Hey guys, has anybody seen Tristyn lately?" He seemed amused, flippant, as if none of this were real. But the investigation quickly began to unravel his lies. Inside his bedroom, police found blood-stained clothes and dark, disturbing sketches of mutilated women, X mark over genitalia, images of dismembered limbs, satanic symbols, and then came the worst discovery of all. Tristyn's body had been found. A jogger stumbled across her in a bushy area near a lake, close to Saddlestone Drive. Her lifeless form had been stabbed 114 times. 39 of those were defensive wounds. Signs that Tristyn had fought as hard as she could to survive. But the brutality didn't stop. One of the stab wounds in her skull had part of a broken knife blade embedded in it. Investigators believe the only reason the attack stopped was because the blade snapped from the force of the blows. Aiden Fucci was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. Though just 14, he was to be tried as an adult. In court, he appeared disoriented, confused, even muttering about demons taking his soul. Some wondered if it was real or just an act. But as the evidence piled up, the truth grew harder to ignore. What shocked people even further was the involvement of Fucci's mother, Crystal Smith. Surveillance footage from inside their home showed her scrubbing her son's jeans in a bathroom sink, trying to wash away the blood. Someone even warned her not to do it, saying she'd get in trouble. But she continued anyway, looking frantic and watching the windows. At the time, no one even knew Tristyn was dead. Her behavior raised serious questions. What did she know? And when? It didn't end there. Interviews with classmates and friends painted a terrifying portrait of Fucci. He had been telling people for weeks that he wanted to kill someone, that he'd drag the victim into the woods and stab them. He had even given his knives names Picker and Poker. One friend recalled that he said he'd commit murder within 30 days. Tristyn Bailey was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. She became the victim of his sick fantasy. Police were clear this wasn't a spontaneous crime. It was planned, premeditated, calculated. According to the state attorney, it was as clear a case of first-degree murder as they had ever seen. Still, as the case unfolded, Online chaos spread, while most of the internet stood in support of Tristyn's family. Some cruel voices emerged, teens claiming Fucci was innocent. Others joking that killing someone was a way to become famous. It was dark, twisted, and deeply disturbing. So much so that police had to release an official statement to separate facts from online fiction. The Bailey family stayed strong. They spoke out publicly, not just to grieve, but to warn other parents. They wanted people to understand that danger doesn't always come from the outside. Sometimes it's your child's classmate, their friend, someone you thought was safe. Meanwhile, Fucci's behavior continued to concern even court-appointed psychologists. He mumbled incoherently during court appearances, asking why he was there, asking to speak to his mom and dad, rocking back and forth, and referencing demons. A psychologist watching the footage noted that the signs of mental instability could be real, but that would be for the court to determine. A competency evaluation was considered, but not immediately ordered. As for Crystal Smith, Fucci's mother, she faced charges of tampering with evidence. Her case was delayed, but the footage spoke volumes. In one recorded moment, after a detective left the interrogation room, both parents were seen telling Aiden to stick to his story. It raised even more suspicions about how much they knew and how far they were willing to go to protect their son. Eventually, Fucci ended up housed with adult inmates. Prosecutors revealed they had a surprise witness from within the jail, someone who had potentially heard Fucci admit to more than he had let on. They also confirmed over 250 witnesses were prepared to testify against him. The final blow. Forensic divers recovered the murder weapon, a folding knife with a broken blade. It matched the wounds, and the blade fragment recovered from Tristyn's skull fit the missing piece. This was not a crime of passion. This was a cold, methodical act of evil. Tristyn Bailey fought. She resisted. She gave everything she had to live. But ultimately, it wasn't enough, and for that, her killer will likely face life in prison. But justice alone cannot heal the wound this left behind, not for her family, not for the community, and certainly not for the world that watched in horror. This is what happens when darkness hides in plain sight. Stay safe, stay alert, because sometimes evil wears the face of a child.